All right, we've got another lunatic conspiracy theory by the right wing. This one is about how Biden is going to start executing people, including Donald Trump, and obviously uh, right wingers out there that are just voters. And so that's why you have to be really concerned and you have to defend yourself. And it comes with a giant wink. In other words, go grab your guns. So Biden can't execute a nap. Uh, this is ludicrous. This is insanity. No right winger ever gets assassinated. Look at all the people who have been assassinated in American history or attempted assassinations. So JFK, RFK, MLK, Malcolm X, all left wingers, and all people that were challenging power. Donald Trump's not challenging power. What are they going to execute him before he gives them another round of corporate tax cuts? No. And by the way, if you don't know, that's what Trump's main policy point is for this election. He's like, now remember, donors, I mean, voters, wink, 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 I'm going to give another giant corporate tax cut. He already took the tax cut from 35 to 21, and now he says he's going to take it from 21 to 15. They're almost going to pay nothing at all, right? And he's already let them cheat on the expatriation tax, the estate tax, the pass-through tax. I can go on and on and on. So no, people in power, they have some issues with Donald Trump because they think he's too greedy. He's supposed to rob on their behalf, and he's robbing on their behalf and his own behalf, and they're worried about that. But overall, they got no kind of beef with him where anybody would risk their life, risk getting caught, any of this. Besides which, this is all mental, and it started by lunatics like Tucker Carlson. So Tucker Carlson recently had Donald Trump Jr. on, and he says, I think a lot of people yesterday, after the conviction of Trump, a lot of people yesterday, when that verdict came down, I'm among them. My first reaction was, wow, they'll actually hurt us. Look, if you say, look, I don't think they should have brought that case. I think it was political, etc. I don't agree with you, but I get it. I'm not like, wait, I don't understand what you mean. No, I get you think they brought the case because Trump's running for reelection. I've said this 100 times, but I think that you're half right about that. I think that Donald Trump is one of the elites, and he would have gotten away with all of his crimes if he hadn't run for reelection. So you can do what you want with it, but hurt you? He did commit a crime. A jury of his peers said he definitely committed it. And he'll probably get probation or parole or something along those lines. Hurt you. But wait. It's going to get way worse. He continues. Tucker Carlson continues. They would execute us. Me. I'll just say that speaking for myself. And there would be an MSNBC panel of former federal prosecutors telling their audience that I deserved it, and they'd be laughing. But look, to be fair to Tucker Carlson, mainstream media has done this in the past too for outsiders. They did it to Bernie Sanders. Chris Matthews on MSNBC was talking about, well, if people like Bernie Sanders win, well, there might be an era of executions in Central Park again, and I might be one of the victims. Now, at that point, that was just as outrageous as what Tucker Carlson is saying. Those are lunatic conspiracy theories. Bernie Sanders wouldn't hurt a fly, let alone executions, etc. Biden couldn't execute mashed potatoes. Of course, he's not going to do anything. He can't do anything to Netanyahu. He can't do anything to anyone. The idea that he would be like, oh, wait, I'm going to risk my own freedom. I'm going to risk this, my own career, my reputation, my legacy for a guy who's obsessed with the status quo and not doing anything. Remember his main promise to donors? I promise you nothing will fundamentally change. That guy ain't going to take a risk on anything, let alone ordering the assassination of someone. You have to be an idiot to believe that. But you also have to be an idiot to believe that Bernie Sanders would have executed people in Central Park. But when Chris Matthews said that, not a peep out of the media. And of course, they're outraged by what Tucker Carlson is saying now, but what Tucker Carlson is saying is truly outrageous. And there's a reason behind it. Here's another quote that tells you what the reason is. He said, if they can do this to me, brother, no one cares about you anymore. Let's just pause for that, right? Back when you were the number one rated guy on Fox News, everybody was obsessed with Tucker Carlson. Now the main thing that people do is just he's like kind of a punchline that they do. I don't know that that's fair. I don't know how many viewers he's getting now, etc. But it's not like the old days where the people were genuinely like, oh, Tucker's, being so toxic and they're concerned about how he's influencing his audience. Now that he's online, right or wrong, mainstream media has totally forgotten about him. Meanwhile, he's like, I am still the top enemy. No, you're not, brother. You'd be lucky to be the 137th enemy. Anyway, he says, if they can do this to me, they can do this to anyone. Do what? If they can take away my $20 million contract on Fox News for demagoguing, they can take away your $20 million contract. Wow. Okay. Well, we need a $20 million contract for them to take it away. But overall, he's mainly talking about, he says this now, quote, they're not after me. They're after you. And I just happen to be standing in the way. First of all, are you? Are you standing in the way? How are you standing in the way? You're in a comfortable studio. You've never stood in the way at all. In fact, we know because of your texts that were revealed because of the Dominion lawsuit that you hate Donald Trump. You hate his guts and you think he's an idiot and you think he's a terrible person. But you're such a stupid fraud. You get in front of the camera and you're like, I love Donald Trump. Oh, I am such a tough guy. Oh, I think they might kill me. Woohoo, woohoo. Guys, it has to be within the bounds of reason, but you're so far outside the bounds of reason if you believe these insane things. And then Donald Trump Jr. on that same show starts talking about, the FBI, I used to believe in them. And, when they said Russia, 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 I thought maybe I was guilty. He said something along those lines. He said, I thought maybe they had something. Why would you think that they had something? You're the guy they were accusing. That was a hilarious accidental admission. Anyway, he continues, but I get it. The FBI is some door kickers still, and etc. But it's gotten so bad now. And those guys inside the FBI that are on the home team, they should do something about it now. What are you doing? This is why people say, as much as folks are frustrated with Joe Biden, you can't be on Donald Trump's side because they say lunatic things like this all the time. Not just the part about, oh, they're going to start assassinating us and stuff like that. But more importantly, they're egging their own audience on like, oh my God, you guys are in mortal danger. They're about to kill us. They're about to kill you. Aren't you going to do something about it? Wink. And in the case of Don Jr. with the FBI, he's basically telling lunatic right-wingers inside the FBI, you know what? Why don't you start a rebellion? How inside the FBI? Like if they're whistleblowers, great, no problem. I want to protect whistleblowers. But what do you want them to do? Grab their gun and start firing at other FBI agents? Is there any bounds of reason to how maniacal they can be? Do you want the agents starting to fire against each other? This is just a call for anarchy. So if you're a right winger and you're like, oh, I think that the Democrats are hyperventilating, etc. First of all, brother, if this isn't hyperventilating, I don't know what is. Oh my God, I think they're going to assassinate me because of my views on Twitter. You sure, brother? You sure? Look, the idea of put my name on a bomb and I don't think they're going to execute me, okay? And those guys actually execute reporters. So, like, there's no bounds. There's no bounds to the insanity. But more important than that, they're egging on violence from their side as if it's self-defense. And in fact, one more quote from this hideous interview, Tucker says, it's almost like you get kidnapped and the kidnapper has a mask on. But once he shows you his face, he's got to kill you. Except you haven't been kidnapped and neither is Donald Trump. And what do you mean they just showed their face? They've been trying to prosecute Donald Trump for his crimes for a long time. And so, but not long enough. I think they should have started about the fake elector plot right after the election was over. But Merrick Garland's a terrible attorney general. He wasn't too aggressive against Trump. He was way too shy in going after Trump. He waited for 2.5 years for no goddamn reason. So, and he made the decision look political when you wait that long. And then all of a sudden, as Trump is running, you launch the cases. Now, that wasn't the New York case. That's the federal cases. But see there, because we're fair, guys, we're fair. We acknowledge that I think that was a terribly political decision. But again, the main part of that decision was Garland trying to protect Trump from prosecution because he wanted to protect all elites. He didn't want to set a precedent where you can go after a former president or anyone else in power because they're worried about their own corrupt asses. Now, if you're talking about corruption and the corporate money and the donor money that the Democrats take and the Republicans take, great, no problem. That is exceedingly true. I can show you exactly where the money comes from, and I can show you exactly how they vote based on that. But if you're going to lose your mind and think that the Democrats are out to kill you, when the Democrats, I mean, they're so weak. I mean, and it's not like you don't see that, right wingers. You call them weak all the time. That's the thing you're right about. And those weaklings who are afraid of their own shadow and afraid of APAC and afraid of the donors and afraid of the Republicans and afraid of Trump, all of a sudden they're going to start a series of assassinations across the country, including you guys. There's a 0% chance of that. Please don't lose your minds. Can we just have people focus on things that make sense and things that are real? There's a thousand things to criticize Democrats over. There's a thousand things to criticize Biden over. I do it every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. We have wall to wall criticism of Biden and Trump and Biden. We're fair. We tell you all the things that are wrong with them, but you don't have to buy into these con men, these hucksters, these guys who are complete and utter frauds like Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump Jr., and Donald Trump Sr., who are trying to scare you and think that you're in imminent danger so that you give them more money, more campaign donations, more viewers, more money, etc. Don't let them trick you when there's perfectly good reasons to hate both candidates for rational reasons, things that can be proven. Don't let them drive you to violence. Don't let them drive you to do things that are crazy. All right, guys. A lot more, of course, on Monday, 6 o'clock Eastern. Everybody, check out the live show. We have so much fun on the live show. So, right here on the Young Turks on YouTube. And if you can, hit the join button below. We love you guys. Members make this show possible. We got nothing without you guys, but with you, we're super strong, and no one can stop us from telling the truth. Hit the join button below. Love you guys. See you on Monday.